Good morning. This is Cameron Park, January 14th, 2018. We're going to do what I call a cheat flight back to KMCE, Merced Regional Airport. And by cheat flight, what I mean is that I will, once I get airborne leveled off, due to the fact that the conditions in Merced are very actually non-VFR, 2 miles visibility and 500-foot ceiling, that we're going to, rather than make this an hour and a half long, very boring video, we will cheat the flight simulator and actually drag the plane on the map from one point to the other to cut out the distance between the two. This flight normally would take about an hour and 25-30 minutes, I'm guessing, and I got it whittled down to a whole grand total of about 18 minutes. Looks like 18 minutes and 11 seconds, which physically impossible, but due to the magic of television, video, YouTube, whatever you want to call it, I can do that. Sometimes when you drag the plane on the map, X-Plane is smart enough to know that you're cheating and will crash the plane right then and there. Just drops it right to the ground, and then you have to restart from the nearest airport. I've had it happen to me before in previous videos, and this goofs up my video making illustrations. You're going to get some silence in here every time I cut to the map to see where I'm dragging the plane to, or to check where I'm at and setting up my bearings. The map to me is like the equivalent of having ForeFlight on an iPad. You can actually see where you are, you can see the airport, you can get your bearings, you can navigate by GPS, in other words. But there's a silence in the video because when you cut to the map, it cuts out the rotor and engine noise from the plane, so there's these pockets of dead silence. But right now I bet you wish you'd say, okay, let's have some of that dead silence. Okay, here you go. And you won't see until later in the video. It somehow does not sync the sound. Part of the problem is I use a digital audio recorder to record the sounds live as I'm flying, because X-Plane, in all of its wonderfulness, will not do it by itself. So here's the map that is equivalent to the silence that you hear on the audio. Anyhow, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag the plane from just south of Cameron Park to almost to Lodi in one fell swoop. Probably would have taken me 30 minutes to fly that. So just be thankful I'm cutting it down to 18 minutes. It's not for your enjoyment anyhow, it's for mine and for flight training. But some people enjoy it, and when I get old enough to where I won't be able to even walk from here to the Rayleigh's, the grocery store, I'll sit back and spend my time sleeping and watching these videos over again and saying, geez. So when I did that last drag, suddenly I'm above the clouds. The ground cover is sucked in. So what I'm going to do here is something that is really illegal, dangerous, real life, and then even on the video here, because once you get into the clouds, X-Plane seems to not know where you are. It will suddenly go, as you can see right now, see the vertical speed indicator jumping from a negative 1500 to a plus 5. My bearing is changing rapidly, but I'm watching the instruments, controlling the stick, and you can see from the stick that I'm not doing it. It's X-Plane doing it. So I'm pushing it back down again now, and it's coming right back up again. Now we're back up to plus 500, 800, 1,000 feet climb. It's like that plane's all over in these clouds, but what I'm doing is pushing it below the cloud cover because I want to fly VFR, and that's the only place you can see visual. Here we go. We broke through at about 900 feet here, and we're just north and a little east of Lodi. So anyhow, I'll get settled out again here and get lined up, check the distance, and the next time I check the map, I find out that I am at still 45 miles out, which is, even at the speed I'm pumping right now, which is 100 miles an hour, that's still 30 minutes out. And like I say, I was able to, without having to cut anything out of this video, was able to get it down to 18 minutes by cheating, moving the airplane on the map. I don't know if you can actually see it happen here. You will in the next one, because I move it from this location to almost Atwater. As soon as I find the map here, there's Merced. I just lit it up. It's the one with the orange bearing compass around it. And then I'll take and grab this little plane and drag it, because right now we're still 30 some miles out. 35, something like that. I don't know whether it was 35 or 45. I can't remember. I think it was 35. Anyhow, we're flying along here. This is not too bad. This would be legit VFR for me anyhow, because I just have to have 3 miles visibility and I have to maintain my clearance from the clouds. Now, actually, I'm not maintaining my clearance from the clouds because I'm at 700 feet. And if you remember when we broke through, we were at 900. So here we are. We're going to drag this little puppy down, and it's happened so quick you don't see it. But I haven't done it yet. It's on the next one. Anyhow, you'll see that when I do that, the cloud covers are according to what the map is saying, and that is it's now 2 miles visibility, which is illegal to fly. You have to have 3 miles for VFR. And I'm only flying at 400 feet, so I'm 100 feet below the clouds, which is not my legal clearance. But at the moment, I can't remember exactly what the FAA rules are, but we'll find out. But it doesn't make any difference. Again, this is a simulator. So, you can do any damn thing you want in a simulator, including crash and walk away and change the color of your paint in the middle of flying. I've not tried that one yet. I've done it on the ground, but I think you probably could open it up and change at least the color of the aircraft. You may be able to change the entire aircraft too. I was able to do that in the old Microsoft flight simulator. Kind of an interesting effect where you can take off in a Piper Cub from Oakland and get up to altitude, change yourself to a Learjet, fly instantly almost to Merced, change it back to a Piper Cub and land. And he did that several times, I remember. Anyhow, time for me to take a nap. I just ate breakfast. Actually, a late breakfast. I guess it was more like a brunch. Anyhow, this is kind of a long warning. Oh, it looks like here's where I switch it. Because right now I'm about 15, 20 miles. Looks like I maybe moved it a little bit. No, not yet. I'm still flying. Looks like I still have a 800, 900, maybe even 1,000 foot ceiling. I'm flying along at 500 here, which is pretty normal for a gyrocopter. We like to fly high enough to keep the people from complaining on the ground and low enough to where we can see what's going on. say low and slow. I say fast and slow and low. Fast and low. Okay, so now I've drug myself into where I'm about 5 miles out. And it says it's 14 hours, but that's only the time when I'm recording. This flight was made earlier in the day, more like about 1:30 in the afternoon on January 14th, 2018. Anyhow, we're getting in close here. We're coming up on what I originally thought was Livingston, but it's really Atwater. Because what I do is coming out of Atwater, I'll comment as we go over it. There's the old map. Again, this map is just old enough to where it doesn't show the new routing on the freeway where the Bellevue on-ramp from the north has been eliminated. But on this map it does show it, at least the scenery it does. And then I do IFR, I follow roads or railroads. Either one, roads or railroads. That's my version of IFR, since I don't have IFR instrumentation in this vehicle. But anyhow, yeah, this is actually Atwater. That might have been Winton. We just crossed over there. So anyhow, all of a sudden I spot my Highway 99, and that's an easy one to follow, day or night, because at night the flight simulator has it all lit up all the way with lights, so it makes it like a beacon on the ground. In the daytime it's easy to see because of the double 4 lanes, the double 4 lane, two lanes each way. Okay, this is as you're swinging through Atwater, you're coming up over the little hump and down around. Yeah, the new shopping center would have been off to the right there. And right here, you can see where this is the frontage road, and it's where Bellevue used to come in. There's where it went off, and here's where it came in. This is Bellevue Avenue, and there's where it used to enter onto the freeway. And so I just follow 99 here. Now you notice I'm down to 350 feet, so I'm right down on the surface. Not down on the surface, but I'm flying low and fast here. Current speed's 100 and looks like about 101, 2 miles an hour. And what I'm looking for is Franklin Avenue, because Franklin Avenue is my key to turn off and head for the airport. The GPS is also showing me where the airport is. I could do this without anything. And here's Franklin coming up. There's the overpass right there. You saw it just off to the left. Comes out. It's actually pretty realistic as far as where the roads are, because the roads are things that don't change, and so once they map them into the scenery, they pretty much stay. So now it looks like I'm about 2 miles out, 2.5, maybe 2, whatever. About 100 miles an hour will eat that up real fast. So that's a couple of minutes, as you will see. So anyhow, here we come. Can you spot the airport yet? I can't. But all of a sudden it becomes obvious that I'm headed right towards it, which I know I am because I'm following it on my little GPS screen in the middle of the dash. And there it is. Now just almost dead ahead of us is the runway. Now you can see it coming in over the top of the dash. So cutting my speed back here. Still cutting in hot, about 80 miles an hour. So now I'm cutting the throttle, cutting it gradually. Give me a nice glide slope in here. Down to 75, 72, 70, 68, 65, 60. About ready to bounce up here. I'm starting to pull the nose up. Drop the speed, 45, 40, touchdown. Not bad. This particular gyroplane likes to land at 40, 42 miles an hour. You can make it go 30 if you really pull up pretty hard just at the last second. It'll drop it down to 30, which makes for an almost stop in your tracks type of. With a headwind, it's kind of fun to fly it in the headwind because you can come in and just sit right down in your own tracks. No vertical, no horizontal movement at all, no forward movement. Okay, that's it for now. We're back at Merced and we're taxiing across the tarmac, headed back past all the buildings. I wish they had scenery here, but I'm too lazy to build it, and I'm sure nobody else is interested, because I think, as far as I know, I'm the only one flying Merced using X-Plane version 10.5.1. I'm not on 11, only because I don't want to lose this particular gyroplane, which I know for a fact works fine in 10.51, and what do I need? 11.4 if that's all I'm using it for. And why spend another $45 for nothing? So, anyhow, yeah, nap time. Get this thing parked, put away, and I'll take a nap. And you can watch the video. You've already watched it if you've gotten this far. So anyhow, I managed to talk through the entire video. It's, like I say, 18 minutes, 11 seconds, and we're at 16:32 now. So we got a minute and a half of rolling time here on the tarmac. I normally would, since my rotor RPM is down to 100, I would flip on the rotor brake and let it do it, but it's kind of disconcerting. It jerks the plane from the locking of the brake, which is hydraulic. You can't do it just gradually. It kind of just jerks to a stop. Okay, here we are. Turning down the aisle where maybe someday I'll have a hangar. Maybe someday. And anyhow, long story short, here we are. I'm going to point to what's my, use your imagination, there's some T-hangars right here that have electricity. That's why I'm not interested in those particular ones, according to Freddie, my mechanic. Good guy. Okay, rotor stopped. Fuel pump off, master off, mags off, engine shut down. And that's it, folks. That's about it for today. I'm going to zoom in here so you can get a closer view. Pretty good modeling on this particular gyroplane. It's a EL-07S Ellipse from Spain.